Billy had always been different from the other boys in his village. When he was training in boxing class, his legs kept shaking. His teacher thought it was a bad sign at first, but then he realized something. Billy had the natural movements of a dancer. His strong calves and tense foot arch were perfect for ballet. But in their small, traditional town, boys didn't do ballet. If anyone found out, they would laugh at him. Billy's father was a tough man who worked hard to support his family. He wanted his son to grow up strong, so he spent a lot of money on boxing classes. But Billy wasn't interested in boxing. Every time he went to the gym, he found himself looking toward the ballet class next door. One day, when the ballet teacher wasn't paying attention, Billy sneaked in to watch. He was mesmerized. Before he could leave, the ballet teacher noticed him. His boxing shoes made him stand out among the little girls in ballet slippers. Instead of scolding him, the teacher tossed him a pair of ballet shoes and challenged him to try. That moment changed Billy's life. He had never felt so excited about anything before. From the first lesson, he showed incredible talent. The teacher quickly noticed and brought him to the front to demonstrate moves to the other students. The feeling of achievement filled Billy with joy. As he walked home, he felt like he had finally found his true purpose in life. But Billy knew his father would never accept his love for ballet. In their poor, working-class town, all the men worked in the coal mines. Strength was everything. If his father found out, he would be furious. Still, Billy couldn't give up. Every day, he pretended to go to boxing class but actually attended ballet lessons. He borrowed books about ballet from the library and practiced in secret, even in the bathroom. He learned that ballet wasn't just about spinning. It required perfect coordination between movement and focus. The more he practiced, the better he became. Meanwhile, the town was in chaos. A miners' strike had begun, and workers took to the streets in protest. Billy's father and older brother, like most men in town, were deeply involved. But some miners still went to work despite the strike, causing tension and fights among the townspeople. One day, Billy's secret was exposed. The boxing coach told Billy's father that he hadn't been attending class. Furious, his father stormed into the dance studio. When he saw Billy dancing among a group of little girls, he was humiliated. Billy froze, terrified. He had no choice but to go home with his father. At home, his father tried to control his anger. Billy's grandmother tried to calm him down by saying she had learned ballet when she was young. Billy hoped that would help change his father's mind, but it didn't. Grandmothers can dance. Girls can dance. But boys can't, his father shouted. Boys do football, boxing, or wrestling. That's it. Billy refused to accept that. He argued that ballet made people strong, just like other sports. He even mentioned famous male ballet dancers as proof. But his father wouldn't listen. From that day on, Billy was forbidden from dancing. He wasn't even allowed to go to boxing anymore. His father told him he had to stay home and take care of his grandmother. Billy felt heartbroken. He didn't want to be stuck in this town forever, working in the mines like his father and brother. But he also saw how hard his father worked just to save a little money. Maybe his father was right. Maybe dreams were pointless. Maybe survival was all that mattered. Billy decided to quit ballet. But his teacher wouldn't let him. She believed in his talent and didn't want to see it go to waste. She told him that the Royal Ballet School was holding auditions soon. Getting in would change his life. Billy hesitated. I don't know enough about ballet, he said. The teacher reassured him, that doesn't matter. The school will teach you everything. What matters is your passion. Show them how much you love to dance. She made an offer. I'll teach you for free until the audition. But you must train twice as hard. Billy was torn. Should he listen to his father and give up, or follow his dream? Billy was a smart but stubborn boy, and his teacher sometimes struggled to handle him. But they made a deal. He would train hard, and she would prepare him for the audition. At the same time, the miners' strike grew more violent. Billy's older brother, who was one of the protest leaders, had a fierce argument with their father. One night, in anger, he took a hammer and planned to attack the police. Their father barely stopped him in time. Frustrated, Billy's brother lashed out. Ever since Mom died, you've become useless, he yelled at their father. You just hide and do nothing. His words cut deep. Their father lost control and punched him. The room fell silent. His brother walked away, defeated. Billy saw how much his family was suffering. It affected his training. He couldn't focus. Once again he thought about quitting. When he told his teacher, she was furious. You're making a mistake, she scolded. Billy got even angrier. He ran away from practice, hiding in the locker room. The teacher found him and apologized for being harsh. But Billy wasn't mad at her, he was mad at the world. Everyone told him what to do, but no one understood what he wanted. You don't even have a real dance school, the teacher said. And you're here crying? Don't blame me when you ruin your own future. Then, in frustration, she slapped him. She immediately regretted it, but Billy didn't react. Instead, he thought deeply. He realized that he had disappointed both his father, who only wanted the best for him, and his teacher, who had always supported him. Billy finally made up his mind. He wouldn't waste any more time. He would listen to his teacher, train hard, and go to the audition. The teacher cared for him like a mother. To help him stay focused, she canceled her other classes and spent all her time coaching him. She even told him fairy tales, filling the void left by his late mother. Billy worked harder than ever. Soon, the day of the audition arrived. But Billy never showed up. The teacher waited, worried. She rushed to his house and found his family in crisis. Billy's brother had been arrested during a protest, and his father had spent all their savings to bail him out. When the teacher arrived, Billy's father and brother exploded in anger. Billy's brother yelled, "It's your fault Billy turned into such a sissy." He insulted the teacher, blaming her for everything. Their father stopped him. "If you think ballet is useless, then let Billy prove himself." Billy's brother lifted him onto the table, forcing him to show off his dancing in front of them. The teacher was outraged. Ballet is not a joke. Billy has a chance to escape this life. The argument got worse. Billy couldn't take it anymore. He ran outside. He danced wildly, pouring all his emotions into his movements. His jumps and spins showed his passion, but his painful expressions reflected his struggle. He ran until he reached an iron fence. Trapped, he realized his dream had no future. In the end, he gave up on the Royal Ballet Academy audition. As winter came, his father, desperate for warmth, smashed the piano his late wife had left behind. The sound of it breaking tore at Billy's heart. But his father was just as heartbroken. Burning the piano brought some warmth to their home, but inside, he felt cold and empty. For the first time, this strong man broke down, unable to hold back tears as he missed his wife. The weight of life finally crushed him. Even though Billy gave up the audition, he never gave up dancing. On Christmas, he secretly taught his friends some dance moves. But just as he was showing them, his father caught him. His father's eyes were filled with disappointment. But this time, Billy didn't run away. He kept dancing right in front of him. He wanted to prove himself, to convince his father with his talent. His movements were light but powerful. When Billy finished, his father said nothing and just walked away. Billy thought he had hurt him again and quickly ran after him, apologizing through tears. But his father, without looking back, simply told him to go home. His father ran straight to the teacher's house and asked, "How much does the audition cost?" The teacher said at least £2,000. His father, determined to help his son, apologized to her. She offered to cover part of the cost, but he refused. "Billy is my son. As his father, I'll find a way." Billy's father had always carried the family's burdens without ever thinking about himself. But how could a man struggling to gather even £50 come up with 2,000? There was only one way, to swallow his pride and return to work. He had been a leader in the miners' strike, but now he had no choice but to go back to the mines. As he boarded the bus to work, the other striking miners cursed and threw things at the bus. The loudest shouts came from Billy's brother, until he saw their father sitting inside. Shocked, he chased the bus all the way to the mine, trying to stop him. "You're killing yourself for this," he shouted. But their father wasn't going to stop. No matter what, nothing was more important than his son's future. With no other option, he went to a pawn shop. After hesitating for a long time, he finally stepped inside. Soon he and Billy were on a bus to London, heading toward the Royal Ballet School. The grand halls and elegant design of the academy left them staring in awe. Billy had to go through a medical check first. The doctor mentioned a slight curve in his spine, but it wasn't a big issue. Coming from a small town, Billy had never faced such strict procedures, and his nerves nearly made him back out. But his father gave him a push, forcing him to face the judges. The examiners studied Billy closely, making him even more nervous. Outside the room, his father looked calm, full of confidence in his son. But inside, Billy was a mess. His nervousness ruined his performance. The judges looked unimpressed. After the failed dance test came the interview. The judges asked Billy questions, and his blank mind could only answer with, "I don't know." Father and son sat there like two helpless fools. It was clear, the audition was a disaster. But just as they were about to leave, one examiner asked Billy, "How do you feel when you dance?" Billy hesitated for a long time before answering, "I don't know." The judges sighed in disappointment. But then Billy continued, "I just feel good. When I dance, I forget everything. It's like I don't even exist. My body feels different. Sometimes like a wild flame, sometimes like a bird flying free, and sometimes like electricity running through me." "Yeah?" one judge muttered. "What did you see?" "Have a safe journey home," another added, signaling the end of the audition. Billy and his father left, feeling defeated. They knew they had failed. The academy would send the results by mail, but no one in the family had any hope. Billy's grandmother tried to comfort him, saying he could always learn a trade. But Billy wasn't interested in anything but dance. Then one day, the postman arrived with a letter. Billy's father placed it on the table, waiting for him to come home. When Billy saw the envelope, he also saw the worried faces of his family. He didn't want to break their hearts again. So, he took the letter and went to his room alone. Minutes passed, then hours, but Billy never came out. His father knew Billy must be heartbroken. Wanting to comfort him, he gathered the family, reminding them that life wasn't just about dancing, there were many other paths. No matter the outcome, they would always stand by Billy's side. Suddenly, the news arrived: Billy had passed. His father, overwhelmed with joy, ran through the streets like a child, excitedly sharing the good news with everyone he met. The next day, Billy and his father visited his mother's grave. For the first time in a long while, they laughed together like playful friends. In a moment of joy, Billy playfully pushed his father, then fell back himself. His father hugged him tightly, and for the first time, Billy truly felt his father's warmth and love. Before leaving, Billy visited his beloved teacher. Though the teacher acted calm, he was proud of Billy. He told Billy to focus on his dreams and not worry about him. With that, he turned back to his classroom. The strict voice Billy had once feared now felt like a distant memory. At the station, Billy's father hugged him tightly, unwilling to let go. His older brother, watching Billy board the bus, felt a deep sense of loss. The day Billy left was also the day the miners' strike ended. While Billy was stepping into a bright new future, his father and brother returned to the dark coal mines. Years passed. 10 years later, time had left deep marks on Billy's father's face. One day, he and Billy's brother traveled a long way to see Billy perform. By now, Billy had become a famous ballet dancer, and tickets to his shows were nearly impossible to get. When Billy saw his father and brother in the audience, he felt both joy and nervousness. This time, someone very special was watching him perform. Billy had once told his father that ballet dancers could also have strong muscles, and that dancing didn't make a man any less of a man. To the world, Billy was a great dancer. But to his father, he would always be the little boy who once dreamed big. The most beautiful part of life is not the moment you achieve your dream, but the journey of holding on to it. A father's love is like a towering mountain, strong and unshakable. It is a flame that never dies, a weight he carries with pride, and a warmth that can be felt even in the coldest winter.